Welcome to the Fight Night Daily podcast from talkSPORT. We are in Las Vegas for Canelo versus Crawford. I'm Adam Catterall. Pleasure to be with you. Gareth Davies alongside me and the WBC president, Maurizio Sulaiman, very kindly giving up a bit of time to come and join us at the launch of the undisputed computer game. I say the launch of, it's a celebration. We're at the HyperX in the Luxor here in Las Vegas. Got to remember where we are. And it's a celebration of the new undisputed game. WBC, obviously, key players in that game. Maurizio, welcome to the show. How are you, first and foremost, sir? You well?
I'm very well. To be back in Las Vegas, to have such an unbelievable fight to be taking place at the stadium, at the football stadium. It's something amazing, and I'm just very excited to...
On that very point, you and I have been coming here for, well, since you were a boy, but working, we've been coming here, because with his father, obviously. But we've been working here probably about 30 years, 35 years. We've never had an event in a stadium here before in all our time, have we?
No, because I used to come here when the Hilton was holding the fights, Caesar's Palace, at the parking lot.
Yeah.
Then MGM Arena. There was no stadiums. Then the biggest one was UNLV.
Yeah.
For the university, and now the T-Mobile came in.
Thomas and Mack.
Thomas and Mack.
Center, yeah.
And then now the Allegiant Stadium for the football, 60,000, 65,000. It's going to be amazing.
How important is the Mexican holidays in the calendar for the boxing fan? Because obviously we have Cinco de Mayo, and everybody seems to come out for that one, and then obviously the September one. I was here last year when Canelo fought Berlanga, and it was pandemonium in Las Vegas. How important is that for the people back home in Mexico?
It is huge. The people that left Mexico to the United States, who migrated to the U.S., they took so much belonging and so much the roots, and they started celebrating Cinco de Mayo and September 16, the independence of Mexico, and it became a tradition to have boxing matches to celebrate. So Carlos Zárate, Olivares, Salvador Sanchez, then Chavez, then Oscar de la Hoya.
Listen to them names.
I mean, all those, they would fight May 5th or September 16th, and now we're here for Canelo.
Let me add to that as well, because obviously you know I speak Spanish and I've studied the history.
Are you going to leave me out? Go on then.
No, I'm not going to. No, what I mean is, and you saw it at today's press weigh-ins because we were there earlier. La raza, el orgullo, el machismo, the pride, the race. Two Mexicans, all those names that Mauricio mentions, they're bigger than legends in boxing. They are the representation of the pride of Mexico. They are the representation of a spiritual core, that there is a warrior in the Mexican spirit that will never be dented, that will never be beaten. And the weird thing about Canelo, with that flaxen hair, in about, I think it's 18 Mexican cities, there is a statue de los San Patricios, of the St. Patrick's, because a contingent of 30,000 Irish fought with the Mexicans in their War of Independence. And Canelo, with a wink, will always tell you that he's got a grandmother on one side with Irish roots. Is that not true? Yes. And the Irish love him, the Mexicans love him, and we saw today, and I was in the front row, and I gave my book to Chepo to give to Canelo today, Chepo Reynoso. I was in the row with all his Mexican family and friends, and they were wearing his outfits, the tracksuits. I met his brother, I fell into his brother's lap, who looks just like him, the slightly older brother, the next one, I can't remember his name, but he looks exactly like him. The pride of those people, and when Canelo looked over at us, because I was sitting with them, he was saying, I'm doing this for you, and I'm fighting. He fights for Mexico as well. And I really, really felt it today more than any time I've ever felt it, Mauricio.
Well, it's a different fight. It's a unique fight, as I said, stadium fight, a fight that takes so long to create, Canelo has been 14 years champion, Crawford 11 years. It's a sensational match, has captured the attention of the world.
It was a fantasy fight before it happened. It was a fantasy fight.
It was absolutely, because you don't see this type of fights being made, because they have to prepare many years of the rivalry.
Yeah. This is obviously promoted a little bit differently. It's not one of our, what we would call, regular promoters involved. It's new. Dana White, TKO Promotions with Nick Khan, teaming up with Turkey El Sheikh and Seller to put this show on in Las Vegas. What have you made of, firstly, the show that they put on, and the noise that they're making in and around boxing and the reforms and various things like that of what they want to do over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of mixed information. For this specific event, I have seen that the common natural boxing treatment that everybody is used to. The procedures, the protocols, the facilities, transportation, I mean, everything that has to do, it is obvious that there's a way the industry of UFC, WWE, or that company, they have different protocols. And boxing, used to the promoters, the many different promoters, there are different protocols. So there has been a lot of confusion. I believe, I hope, in good faith, they have been in good faith, not something to create problems. Hopefully everything will run smoothly tomorrow. But we're facing what I saw yesterday in the press conference, it was too aggressive. They're trying to make a statement, and the proposed changes in the law, it's getting a lot of resistance in the boxing community in the United States.
Right, let me jump in. No, let me jump in here, because I go way back. Like, you're a UFC guy largely, okay? And I go back with the UFC. No, I mean you will defend the UFC more than I will, because you work for them, you work with them, you work on TV with them. This has been run like a UFC event, in terms of media as well. It's been run differently to what we're used to. Add on to that the bolt-on of Turkey El Sheikh as well, and the first big event where we've got TKO Holdings, the UFC rhythms, alongside the Saudi Arabian interest as well. And you're looking at two massive figures in the fight world, in Dana White and in Turkey El Sheikh, the two most influential figures in MMA and in boxing, coming together, and they're working out a structure at the moment. Remember 2 years ago when Turkey El Sheikh and the Saudi Arabians first came into boxing, there was a lot of, not insecurity, but a lot of new ways that we had to work through. I think that's what you're alluding to right now, because the seismic shift we went through in Europe and Saudi Arabia is now happening here. And it's a very successful MMA organization aligned with a very powerful Saudi Arabian committee in a new market in America that has been very slumbering for several years since the departure of Floyd Mayweather. You put all those things together, if it runs properly, it will really work out. Because what you're alluding to, and what you know as well, because we've talked about this many times, if they get the chips right on the table, this will really work for boxing. But it's not all in the right position at the moment. For me, they should have brought some of the heavyweights over here to fight on these cards as well. All that great work that's been done in the heavyweight division. I know I'm giving a small lecture here, but we all understand the sport we're in, and it can rise or it can fall. And America needs improvement in boxing. It needs resonance. No? Discuss.
Well, the noise that Dana makes, and obviously when he speaks and Turkey speaks about the changes that are required in boxing, saying that boxing is broken and certain things need to happen.
It's not broken.
Well, hang on.
But it's not broken.
What's your response to that?
Boxing is boxing. Boxing is a sport that has existed since the beginning of humanity. Then it got in the modern era in the UK in England. He was born 300 years ago. So boxing was bare knuckle, boxing was brutal, no rules. Eventually, rules started happening. It was not until 60, 70 years ago that it got more humanized. And then today we see a different world with, bare knuckle fighting, with slap competition, with so many different MMA leagues and MMA varieties. And boxing remains the same. Boxing has always been a great sport because it takes the hard work of very poor kids from humble beginnings that start boxing, and they start dreaming of one day maybe winning a medal for their country or becoming the next Chavez, the next Mayweather, the next Tyson Fury. They have such inspiration looking to a figure in boxing. The structure of boxing was very solid with television, open television, then pay-per-view. Now, the technology keeps changing. And I like to confirm that there's a lot of confusion on the intentions of the bill that wants to be changed, because that's a federal law.
Yes.
So it's a major change. And the way it is being portrayed is that they want to be able to do the UFC structure in boxing, which means the common promoters that are currently promoting will have disadvantages in the way that they have to comply with the law, and these UBOs will not have to comply with that law. Whether it's good,
That's the new
bad.
organisation, by the way, that they're creating, the UBO.
UBO, anyone can create an
Unified
UBO.
Boxing Organisation, yeah.
And if you comply with everything that is in that package as a UBO, you don't have to comply with the Muhammad Ali Act.
Okay.
So it's confusion. You have to understand it, read it, analyze it. But the way yesterday was portrayed by Max Kellerman, saying there's a new NFL or new NBA for boxing. Who doesn't want to see that? Then it's creating so many noise around if it's a league, if it's a tournament. I mean, we have welcomed everyone who has come into boxing as WBC. We have seen great success in tournaments, the Super 6 by Showtime, the World Boxing Super Series. Don King did a great heavyweight tournament in the 80s.
Late 80s with HBO. Mike Tyson emerged from that, didn't he?
So
They could do that in America now with those 10 or 11 stars. All the things, this is a very deep discussion about boxing. And we could literally
but it's needed.
No,
It's
no,
needed
no, no,
because-
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we could talk about this for 2 hours here on this podcast because we're scratching the surface. Our knowledge base of boxing, because going back to that word about boxing being broken, boxing is like a wild animal. At times you feel like you've tamed it when the best are fighting the best in certain eras. We kind of got it in the heavyweight division at the moment, yeah? And then because you don't get a result that sits the pack settled right, you have a little pause, which we've just had. And people give leeway to Alexander Usyk. He's earned it, we say. Boxing will never be completely fixed. It is the Wild West. There'll never be less than 4 sanctioning bodies. There may be 5 soon. We just have to work within the nuance of it all. It's more nuanced than a league. UFC's a league. You can't turn boxing into a league. That will never, ever work. Will it ever work?
well, the way it is like, and I keep repeating it, there's a lot of confusion, misinformation.
What is your understanding of it?
That it's about 100, 150, 200 fighters league, and they will fight among them. They will do the rankings, they will do the championships, they will do the events. So
And that's where they need reform on the Ali Act, because they need to bring in promotion, have their own championships, have their own rankings, have their own belt, very similar to what we see with the UFC.
Exactly. The WBC was created 1963, and the roots of everything was to have an organization that will control the medical aspects, the rules, the administration of the sport, but clearly without any intervention in the business to make sure there's no conflict of interest.
Okay.
So that's a key component. In boxing, nobody has intervention in the business, only the promoters.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
That's how it's set up now.
That's how it's now. In the late 90s, when the Muhammad Ali Act was formed by Senator McCain and Reid, the key element was to make sure the boxer got the biggest share of the business, not the promoter. Because in the Muhammad Ali era, Muhammad Ali would have the 10% and the promoter had 90%. Or so he said. When everything at the end came out, they had 80-20. That is the common business schedule now. 80% for the fighters, 20% for the promoters.
Do you agree with that?
I'm sorry?
Do you agree with that?
Well, yes. I mean, the way it's structured, yes. Many promoters lose money because they spend money to create a career. Once they have created a product in a fighter that is marketable and can be in business, he leaves to another promoter or
or they self-promote themselves, which has become the habit with
but-
Floyd of that era.
So the understanding overall is that the intention of the Muhammad Ali Act is to give the fighters a good share of the money, common knowledge of the numbers, the information, to prohibit the promoters to have dealings with the sanctioning organizations, with managers. You cannot be a manager and a promoter.
That's the main point,
So
isn't it? Yeah.
it's the main points, and let's see what the reform looks like.
From a fighter point of view, I absolutely get all the concerns that you've just perfectly explained it. I think there as to why fighters from that side would be concerned. Does that reform work better for the fans? Because the understanding then of boxing becomes a little bit more streamlined. And then the second part of my question to you is, does that then cause concerns for you as the president of the WBC when you hear Dana White saying he doesn't want to work with sanctioning bodies, he wants to create his own UBO?
That's no problem. For the WBC, we have 176 countries affiliated. We have a huge world platform. Boxing without Pacquiao, without Canelo, without Fury, without all these international figures is not the same. If their position is to come in and say we don't want anything to do, it's an aggressive statement. But everybody can live in the same world. If they have a league and it works well in the United States, that's perfect. It's good. I'm not going to go into the details of this is good or bad for the specific fighter. What they say is that it's capped, that the amount of money that a fighter can make is limited, that they have some benefits, that they have medicals, that there's contracts. I don't get into that. I don't know. What I know is that boxing is 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds. There's many fighters out there. Many fighters are making good money. Many fighters are not making money. It's a big, big, big world to try to concentrate in a small world of 200 universe. But what I don't like is the fighting of saying, I'm going to come in. No, I think they should do it differently and say, we're coming into boxing.
And let's all work together.
Let's all work together. Let's have a league and we will see down the road. I have no issue. We have always cooperated with promoters, managers, trainers, televisions.
Thank you, Mauricio.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask him about the fight.
Carry on then, go on.
I was going to ask him about...
Canelo all day long, he hasn't got a choice.
Listen, we'll pick this up again, no doubt, at another time, but we're here for the super fight, so let's finish on the positive. Having 80,000 people in a stadium in the middle of Las Vegas on a Mexican holiday weekend to see the two of the best fighters on the planet display their talents for us I mean, it doesn't get better than that, does it?
Doesn't get it better, and it reiterates boxing is not broken. If we were broken, we wouldn't have a fight like this. We would not have Inoue, like a big hero in Japan, fighting on Sunday, and Usyk, and all these great matches we have seen in the last 2 years.
Well,
Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, has been an unbelievable, fresh promoter in boxing.
And disruptor in a good way. And a disruptor in a good way.
I don't know what disruptor means,
Well,
but
yeah,
he
what-
has brought everybody to the table.
Quiero decir, uno que llega con cambias.
Yeah,
No, want
I
someone
mean,
to bring in change.
he has brought people to the table and has made big fights happen. They have a different, I mean, they have the money to do it, and he's passionate about boxing. He likes to be close to the fighters, so that with managers and promoters, it's a little bit controversial. But overall, I would say we're in a very good position right now. If the UFC comes into boxing, hopefully they do it in a good, positive way that they can have success and promote boxers. And I think it is a lot of confusion. Sometimes the styles, boxing is much different. Boxing has class. Boxing has these long-standing traditions. Is your wife calling? She heard you.
Whoever Laurie, my lady, is, ain't going to get a call with me tonight.
Listen, on that note, thank you so
Can
much
I
for your
ask
time.
Mauricio one more question? This is a difficult question for you as well. I think Dana White, by the way, is deep down a boxing guy. He grew up in Boston and he loved boxing. And he grew up in an era when the heavyweights were fine. He's the same age as me, like you are, and the heavyweight division was phenomenal when we were teenagers. What's better for boxing tomorrow night, if Canelo wins or Crawford wins?
Whoever wins. There's no better. What is better for boxing is that it's a great fight. We have had Mayweather, Pacquiao, all the expectations. It was not a good fight. We need a great fight. Whoever wins, let the public be the winner.
Is your instinct that they'll have two fights?
I don't know. Why think about that when we have one fight tomorrow?
No, I'm just talking about, we've been here enough times in Vegas to know that when the very big fights come here, there's often a habit of it spawning another event, another fight. You don't think so? You think that there'll be a definite decision with a winner? If Canelo loses, he'll want the rematch.
I don't know if you're interpreting that there's shaping to do a second.
No.
They go in the ring and they fight the best. Hopefully, if it's a great fight, they can do it 2-3 times.
What I was trying to get you to say is if Crawford wins, Canelo will want a second fight.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. Go and enjoy your evening. Okay. Can we have a tequila later, me and you, please? We haven't had one for a while.
I'll have a nice lemonade.
All right, I'll have a lemonade
Mauricio,
with
thank you
you.
so much for your time.
Cheers,
Appreciate
Mauricio.
you, Thank you very much. There you go. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.